from Monday to Friday, exactly 14 to 18, right on Money FM. Remember how good afternoon radio feels like? We discuss on various topics, ranging from education.
Money Evening News. Money Evening News.
In your financial indicators today, Wednesday, 19th October 2022, the United States dollar is buying at 15 kwacha 79 ngwe and selling at 15 kwacha 10 ngwe. The Great British Pound is buying at 17 kwacha 88 ngwe and selling at 18 kwacha 23 ngwe. The euro is buying at 15 kwacha 54 ngwe and selling at 15 kwacha 84 ngwe. The South African rand is buying at 87 ngwe and selling at 88 ngwe. Those are your financial indicators. The news headlines. Labour Minister says Labour Advisory Committee will next week be reviewing existing minimum wages and conditions of service statutory instruments.
The existing minimum wages and conditions of service statutory instruments for consideration by the ministry.
Governance activist says decentralization of Constituency Development Fund has a lot of loopholes which need to be sealed.
In the recent past, what we have witnessed is that despite the discipline of the privatization of the fund itself, we have seen a lot of loopholes.
Dangote sets 10-year manufacturing target for Nigeria's industrialization. Zambia to face Israel in an international friendly match during November's FIFA window. Hello and welcome to the Money Evening News on Money FM. I am Best Jerry. Minister of Labour and Social Security has disclosed that the Labour Advisory Committee will next week be reviewing the existing minimum wages and conditions of service statutory instruments, SIs, for consideration by her office. Officiating at the Mine Workers Union of Zambia, MUZ, the 15th Quadrennial Conference in Livingstone, Brenda Tambatamba says minimum wages and conditions of service statutory instruments do not cover employees whose conditions of service are determined by means of collective bargaining. Ms. Tambatamba has since encouraged the Mine Workers Union of Zambia to continue utilizing the existing processes of collective bargaining as provided for in the Industrial and Labor Relations Act to better the conditions of service for its members, along with the safety of workers in the mining sector. She said this in a speech read on her behalf by Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Zakaria Luhanga.
Will embark on the review of both the Employment Code Act number 0 of 2019 and the Industrial Relations Act. Next week, the Labour Advisory will be reviewing the existing minimum wages and conditions of service statutory instruments for consideration by the ministry. Undoubtedly, government has demonstrated unmatched commitment toward the promotion of the decent wage. In this regard, we are also called upon to do the very best. We know that minimum wages.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mbatamba has advised trade unions and other stakeholders to realign themselves to information and technology, which is one of the emerging issues on the Zambian labor market.
Is indeed one of the emerging issues on the Zambian labor market, and this calls for both the employers and employees to have a mindset shift in order to adjust and adapt to the new world of work. Inevitably, digitalization has become an integral component of work today, and therefore trade unions and all other stakeholders need to realign themselves to this new model of conducting business. Government is cognizant of the fact that along with changes in technology, there has been a shift in business models that in some instances may need adaptability amongst workers.
And Zambia Congress of Trade Unions ZCTU Secretary General Cosmas Mukuka says trade unions exist to fight for the rights of employees, protect and improve their conditions of service to attain decent work.
We believe in the rights of individual freedom of association, rights to belong in collective action. These are fundamental principles enshrined in the Irish Constitution and the Bill of Rights in our national constitution. In other words, our duty is a calling to fight for the rights of workers and to protect and improve conditions of work in order to attain decent work and social justice. Therefore, I wish to remind you that the core business of a trade union organization is to protect the interests of the members and fight for decent working conditions. In addition, moves as the responsibility of conducting work association, much as we encourage freedom of association as a fundamental right. It must not be exercised in such a way that it compromises the effective representation of the members we represent.
Anti-Corruption Commission (ACC) has interrogated former Minister of Defense Davis Chama to help with investigations in connection with a matter in which money amounting to $3 million United States dollars was paid to a named political party in 2016 by Glencore International AG, the mining company that was operating Mopani copper mine. In a statement, ACC Head of Corporate Communication Timothy Mono says the investigations border on the circumstances under which the funds were paid by the said mining firm to a political party, soon after which the firm exited Zambia under unfavorable terms to government. He states that investigations into this matter are ongoing. Meanwhile, Mr. Mono reveals that the commission in Kasama has arrested and charged a clearing agent in Nakonde for corrupt practices involving 10,000 kwacha. He says ACC has also arrested a public prosecutor at National Prosecutions Authority (NPA) in Lundazi for corrupt practices involving 2,000 kwacha. We take a short break. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
For business on the go, visit www.moneyfmzambia.com to watch, stream, and download various programs from anywhere in the world.
A governance activist says decentralization of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has a lot of loopholes which need to be sealed. Speaking in an interview with Money FM News, Wesley Mianda says the CDF Amendment Bill of 2022 is therefore a welcome move because it will ensure that things are put in their right perspective. Mr. Mianda states that it will be safer if the act is formidable so that decentralization is achieved and strengthened.
Is a welcome move that Parliament has done to see how best it can make the act formidable to the extent of making sure that things are put in the right perspective. So as citizens, I think we are of that idea, and we are in full support of that act, because in the recent past, what we have witnessed is that despite the system of decentralization of the fund itself, we have seen a lot of loopholes. It should be on the safer side if we can have this act formidable so that, at the end of the day, decentralization should actually mean what it stands for.
Last week, a cabinet approved the introduction in Parliament of Constituency Development Fund (CDF) Amendment Bill of 2022 to repeal and replace the CDF Act number 11 of 2018. Cabinet observed that the Constituency Development Fund enacted in 2018 does not adequately provide for the manner of decentralization as envisaged by government. This is Money Evening News at 17:30. A mining expert says the International Mining and Energy Conference and exhibition, which Zambia will be hosting next month, will bring out new opportunities that will strengthen the country's mining sector. Speaking in an interview with Money FM News, Edward Simukonda says during the mining exhibition, best minerals are expected to be showcased, which will enable stakeholders to have more information regarding the industry. Mr. Simukonda states that it is also expected that more people will be enlightened on how mining operations are done and allow, I beg your pardon. Mr. Simukonda states that it is also expected that more people will be enlightened on how operations are done.
To be exhibited there, and just on what operation we're getting from the different types of mines that we have.
The to come out and start to more qualified in how mining operations are done, and that maybe those people that will take lead from there and go and set up some good operations in different parts of the country.
10th edition of Zambia International Mining and Energy Conference and Exhibition will take place from 1st to 3rd November 2022 in Kitwe on the Copper Belt. Still to come is international and sports news. Stay tuned.
International news. Money International News.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Money Evening News and now international news. President of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has outlined the targets that Nigeria's manufacturing sector needs to meet to ensure the nation's industrialization in the next 10 years. Vanguard reports that to promote industrialization in the country, he says that the manufacturing sector's contribution to gross domestic product (GDP) should be more than double to 20%, up from the current 9%, among others, within the next decade. Dangote spoke in Lagos at the second Adekola Odutola lecture organized by the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, in commemoration of its 50th annual general meeting. He states Nigeria needs to henceforth intensify efforts at promoting industrialization with a specific focus on the attainment of the targets in next 10 years. For more of such stories, join us for Africa Business Reports at 08:45 weekdays. Gold has inched lower as the dollar gained some ground, while the United States Federal Reserve's commitment to tightening its monetary policy also weigh on a zero-yield bullion's appeal. CNBC reports that spot gold is down 0.1% at $1,650.02 per ounce as of 03:17 GMT, while United States gold futures are flat at $1,654.80. The dollar index ticked 0.1% higher, having hit its lowest level since October 6th on Tuesday. For more of such stories, join us for Global Business Report at 17:50 weekdays. This is the Money Evening News at 17:30.
Sports news. Money Sports News.
In sports news, Zambia senior national men's team will play an international friendly match with the Israeli national team during the November FIFA window. In a statement, FAS General Secretary Adrian Kashala says the match will be played at Petaktiva Stadium. Kashala says the game against Israel is part of FA's long-term plan to keep the Chipolopolo engaged ahead of competitive assignments. Kashala has disclosed that the international friendly match between Zambia and Israel will be staged on November 17, 2022, with both teams expected to field their A teams for the FIFA-approved game. Gambian and Africa's top referee, Bakari Papaga Sama, together with his Gambian panel of referees, are appointed to officiate Ghana's Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations second round, second leg qualifier against Mozambique. The Point reports that the 43-year-old Gassama's panel comprises Abdul Azizi, Boleo Jao Assistant 1, Omar Daboy Assistant 2, and Lamini Jama as fourth referee. Burkina Faso's Miogo Koudougou David will serve as match commissioner, while Ghana's Christiana Ba will serve as COVID-19 officer. As we end the news, we look at the headlines once again. The news headlines. Labour Minister says Labour Advisory Committee will next week be reviewing existing mining wages. I beg your pardon. Labour Minister says Labour Advisory Committee will next week be reviewing existing minimum wages and conditions of service statutory instruments. Governance activist says decentralization of Constituency Development Fund has a lot of loopholes which need to be sealed.
In the recent past, what we have witnessed is that despite the difficulty of the privatization of the fund itself, we have seen a lot of loopholes.
Dangote says it's a 10-year manufacturing target for Nigeria's industrialization. Zambia to face Israel in an international friendly match during November's FIFA window. For these stories and more, be sure to visit our website on www.moneyfmzambia.com. Follow us on Facebook, Money FM Zambia, on Twitter and Instagram, Money FM Zambia. You can also download our Money FM app from App Store and Google Play Store. And for marketing, contact us on +260 96786 5040 or 0211252237. Thank you for listening to Money Evening News. I am Best Jerry. Good evening. This is Money FM.
Money Evening News. Money Evening News. Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
United Kingdom inflation back at 40-year high as food prices soar. Global carbon dioxide emissions to grow less than 1% this year thanks to renewables. Cement firm Lafarge pleads guilty to supporting Islamic State. It is 17:51 Central African time and a warm welcome to Global Business Report, Wednesday edition with me, Best Jerry. Rising food and energy costs drove United Kingdom inflation back to a 40-year high in September, but it could be nearing a peak as cash-strapped households pull back on spending amid broader economic turmoil. CNN reports the Office for National Statistics says on the annual rate of inflation rose. I beg your pardon. CNN reports the Office for National Statistics says the annual rate of inflation rose to 10.1% in September, up from 9.9% in the 12 months to August. That returns it to July's recent high. The ONS says soaring food prices were the largest single contributor to the acceleration in inflation, jumping 14.6% year on year. The International Energy Agency, IEA, says global carbon dioxide, CO2 emissions from burning fossil fuels are expected to rise, but just under 1% this year as the expansion of renewables and electric vehicles outweigh coal demand. Reuters reports that the agency says in a report, carbon dioxide emissions are on course to increase by nearly 300 million tons to 33.8 billion tons this year, a far smaller rise than their jump of nearly 2 billion tons in 2021. The rise this year has been driven by power generation and the aviation sector as air travel rebounds from pandemic lows. The French unit of German pharmaceuticals firm Merck says it has been charged with aggravated deceit for failing to inform patients of changes to a thyroid drug that can result in serious new side effects. France 24 reports a court had already ordered the company in 2020 to pay compensation to more than 3,300 plaintiffs in a civil case, and an appeal of that ruling was rejected by France's Supreme Court earlier this year. Some 30,000 people in France reported headaches, insomnia, hair loss, or dizziness from taking a new version of levothyrox, a drug used to treat underactive thyroids, or following surgery for cancer of the organ, which regulates the body's metabolism. We'll take a break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio. Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Welcome back. French cement maker Lafarge has pleaded guilty in the United States to supporting the Islamic State and other terror groups. BBC reports the firm agreed to a $777.8 million, about £682.2 million penalty for payments it made to keep a factory running in Syria after war broke out in 2011. Prosecutors say it marks the first time a company has pleaded guilty in the United States to aiding terrorists. According to BBC, Lafarge says it deeply regretted the events and accepted responsibility for the individual executives involved. Oil prices have risen slightly amid plenty of caution as bullish signals like falling United States crude stocks and a generally undersupplied market were countered by bearish factors such as uncertain Chinese demand growth and falling gas prices. CNBC reports Brent crude futures for December settlements rose 76 or 0.8% to $90.79 a barrel. Earlier in the session, Brent hit a low of $89.32. United States West Texas Intermediate crude for November delivery expiring on Thursday was at $83.82 a barrel, up 1 cent or 0.9%. The December contract was at $82.92, up 85 cents or 1%. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to join us on Thursday for another Global Business Report. This has been Best Jerry. Stay tuned.
Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Hey girls, how are you?
Tilly bueno.
Fine, how are you?
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, for viewing, listening to our Money Evening News. This is all business news. Money FM radio is a business talk radio station. Think business. 93.7 FM is the frequency in Lusaka, Zambia. So every time you want to get business news, business information, you want to find ways on how to become an entrepreneur, you want to see ways to better your business, Money FM Business Talk Radio is the right station for you. You can listen to Money FM Radio anywhere across the globe beyond the frequency, the 93.7 FM. You can listen to Money FM. There is a Money FM app which you can get on your phone. Then we also have Money FM on Radio Garden. So it's there online. You can check our website, like we always conclude at the end, www.moneyfmzambia.com. You can listen to Money FM on those websites. And then we also have our contact details. If you want to do your marketing and your business with Money FM Business Talk Radio, it is the right platform for your business. Thank you so much for always listening to Money FM Radio. And we're using this platform as well, which is my YouTube channel, Best Jerry, to update you on what is happening with behind radio. It's good. You see, technology is advancing, and we have to take advantage almost every aspect that it gives us, almost every platform. So we have to be there and show that, okay, yes, here we are Money FM. So don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. God bless you and have a blessed evening. Thank you. Evening, afternoon, depending on your time zone. Bye-bye.